Shalom, shalom to the 12 tribe that scattered abroad. Shalom, shalom to the 12 tribe that scattered abroad. Welcome back to the reading of the Bible with your brother Nehemiah. I am Israel, a true seeker of Yahweh. Like, share, subscribe, comment. How y'all doing today, Israel? How my family doing? Well, before we get started, y'all already know we got to give all praise and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. We have to give praise to him, glorify for all the blessing that he done for us. Well, we're going to get on into this. We had left off with Exodus chapter 32. And it was talking about when they thought Moses delayed with coming down, and they ain't know what was going on with Moses or what happened to Moses, and they told Aaron to make them a god that showed that led them out of Egypt, which God did when they told him to make them an idol. So he told them to get all the earrings out the daughters, their wives, and their sons' ears, and he melted down and made a golden calf. And the Most High had told Moses to get down, go down there, because he said the people that you brought out of Egypt, they had already defiled themselves. They had already went against the commandment. Let me see where he said that at. It was in Exodus chapter 32, I'm gonna start with verse 8. Exodus chapter 32, verse 8. They have turned aside, verse 7. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go, get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf, and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. So he was telling Moses to go down because they had corrupted themselves bad. They had already went aside of the commandments. And when the Lord told Moses, he have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. He was talking about us, Israel. He already seen this. He already seen this. So we're going to pick up with chapter 33. So everybody get their King James Version with the Apocrypha and open up the Exodus chapter 33, and that's where we will begin at. Ooh, where my glasses? Lord, have mercy. These words look so blurry and little. Before we get started, man, we had a new year come in. I meant to mention that last time I had did it. We had a new year come in March the 18th or 19th. That's when the new year came in. That's when a new year is always, the new year start always between the middle and the end of March and the beginning of April. That'd be the new year, because God had told them when he was leading them out of Egypt, that when we had the Passover, and he was leaving, he told them to eat the Passover with their belt buckle, they staff in their hand, and their shoes on their feet. Why? Because right after they ate the Passover, they had to leave. And that was at nighttime. It was at nighttime. It was in the eve, but it was at nighttime. That's when a new year started. He said, this month shall be the first month the beginning of months for you, Israel. He wasn't talking about everybody. He was talking about Israel. So we're going to begin in Exodus chapter 33. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 33, verse 1. And the Lord said unto Moses, depart and go up hence, thou and the people which thou hast brought up out of the land of Egypt, unto the land which I swear unto Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, saying, unto thy seed will I give it. Remember, back in Genesis, when we read that, when the Most High told Abraham, he told Isaac, and he told Jacob that he was going to give it to their seed. This the promise that he made Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This the lineage he went down. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Abraham more children. He had more sons and daughters. But it was a lineage. He went from Abraham to Isaac, his second son. That's Abraham's second son, Isaac. Because Ishmael was the first son. Then Isaac had two sons. That were Esau and Jacob. And God chose Jacob. And he promised to give what he promised Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he promises unto thy seed will I give it. Verse 2. And I will send an angel before thee, and I will drive out the Canaanites, the Amorites, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivites, and the Jebusite. So he said he was going to send an angel before them, and he going to drive out these African nations. These are Hamites. These are all Ham children, the Canaanite, the Amorites, the Hittite, the Perizzite, the Hivites, and the Jebusite. These are African nations, Hamite people. But God said he was going to drive them out of the land. Verse 3, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, for I will not go up in the midst of thee, for thou art a stiff-necked people, lest I consume thee in the way. So he was telling Moses to take him to, he was telling Moses to take him to the land that he promised Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, a land that flowing with milk and honey. And he said, he will not go up in the midst of thee, for thou art a stiff-necked people. They hard-headed. We are some hard-headed people. We don't want to listen to our own people tell us the truth, which that's what we're supposed to do. We have to warn our people, but we don't want to listen to them. But we'll listen to another nation tell us something. That's the stiff-necked. They are stiff-necked people. And he said, least I consume thee in the way. Consuming means destroy. He destroyed them in the way. Verse 4. And when the people heard these evil tidings, they mourned, and no man did put on him his ornament. Verse 5. For the Lord had said unto Moses, say unto the children of Israel, ye are a stiff-necked people. I will come up into the midst of thee in a moment. Remember, they had sinned it. And he told Moses, remember when they made the golden calf, this is what he talking about, that he going to come up in a moment on them. He had already told Moses, he going to get them. I think we read that in, 32. I think that was in chapter 32. When he told, well, he going to pay them a visit for their sin they committed. Yeah, like I said, it can be a year or two from now. He going to visit you. He gonna pay you for your sin you admitted. Even if I did a sin 10, 20 years ago, and he never did punish me, he gonna punish me. He gonna chastise me for that sin. Yes, he is. He said, I will come up into the midst of thee in a moment and consume thee. Therefore now put off thy ornament from thee, that I may know what to do unto thee. So we tell them to put off their ornament, meaning their jewels. Put off their jewels. So you can know exactly what to do to them. Verse 6. And the children of Israel stripped themselves of their ornament by the Mount Horeb. Verse 7. And Moses took the tabernacle and pitched it without the camp. So he took the tabernacle and pitched it out without the camp, afar off from the camp, and called it the tabernacle of congregation. And it came to pass that everyone which sought the Lord went out unto the tabernacle of the congregation which was without the camp. So the tabernacle was pitched off from the camp. It wasn't with the camp. So, but they all came to he called it the tabernacle of congregation. This is where they come to seek the Lord. When they sought for the Lord, that's where they went. Verse 8. And it came to pass when Moses went out unto the tabernacle, that all the people rose up and stood every man at his tent door and looked after Moses until he was gone into the tabernacle. Verse 9. And it came to pass as Moses entered into the tabernacle, the clouded pillar descended and stood at the door of the tabernacle. And the Lord talked with Moses. And the Lord talked with Moses. When that cloud came over that tabernacle, that cloud that came over that tabernacle, that was the Lord, the Most High. He descended and stood at the door of the tabernacle. Verse 10. And all the people saw the clouded pillar standing at the tabernacle door. And all the people rose up and worshiped, every man in his tent door. Verse 11. And the Lord spake unto Moses face to face, as a man speaketh unto his friend. The Lord spoke to Moses face to face. Judgment time, you're going to see the same thing. One-on-one with the Lord, face to face. Not me standing beside you, not your mama standing beside you, your daddy, no one. You by yourself, face to face. And he turned again. I'm going to start again from the top, louder from the top. And the Lord spake unto Moses face to face, as a man speaketh unto his friend. And he turned again into the camp, but his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, departed not out of the tabernacle. So Joshua, he departed not out of the tabernacle. So Joshua was up inside the tabernacle. Because that's what it's saying. It said, and he turned again into the camp, but his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, departed not out of the tabernacle. Verse 12. And Moses said unto the Lord, see, thou sayest unto me, bring up this people, and thou hast not let me know whom thou wilt send with me. Yet thou hast said, I know thee by name, and thou hast also found grace in my sight. Grace. Getting yourself together. So he found grace in the Lord's sight. Verse 13, Moses did. Now therefore, I pray thee, if I have found grace in thy sight, show me now thy way, that I may know thee, that I may find grace in thy sight, and consider that this nation is thy people. That nation. He ain't say the nation of the world. He ain't called no, he talking to Israel. He talking to Moses. And Moses is an Israelite. And Moses led the Israelite out of Egypt. And they are in the wilderness, getting the commandments, getting the laws, getting the statutes, getting the judgment. This is what they're getting the promise. This is what he giving them. And it ain't nothing but Israel in the wilderness. Yes, we took a mixed multitude out with her. But remember when back in, I think that was Exodus, I can't remember what chapter it is, but when he said all Israel, when he called all Israel, He ain't called the mixed multitude with him. He said all Israel. And that's what he said. He telling Moses, speak unto the children of Israel. Not the mixed multitude. The mixed multitude meaning another nation, other nation. It's not like he mixed with an Egyptian and a Israelite and he mixed. No. Because you are your father. I tell you that in Numbers. You are your father. Numbers chapter 1, verse 18, I think. But they tell you that in that. You are your father. So whatever your father is, that's what you are. Y'all don't realize that because when you take a blood test, and they always say 99.9% you are the father. Because that's your blood. That's your seed. A woman cannot make a seed. A woman have an egg. Only thing a woman can do is hold the seed, hold the sperm cell, hold the seed, and let it grow in her. That's all the woman can do. Verse 14. And he said, my presence shall go with thee, and I will give thee rest. He promised us this rest. Why you think I work hard on trying to keep these commandments, doing them to the best of my ability? We know we're going to slip. But he said a righteous man falls 7 times and get back up. And don't keep repeating the same sin over and over again. And in due time, you will get that rest. He gonna bring you to your rest. Verse 15. And he said unto him, if thy presence go not with me, carry us not up hence. So he was telling him, if your presence don't go with us, don't carry us up out of him. Because he know that the Lord, Moses know the Lord doing all this fighting for him. Moses know what God doing. Our people know, but they just, what he called them, some stiff-necked people. They seen these things. I'm talking about they seen hands on hands. All these plagues that the Father brought. These, I don't want to say miracles, but like splitting the Red Sea. Raining hell. All these folks seen these things. And we in the days now, we don't see these things, but we believe and we have faith. He said there's going to be a nation that come, a generation that come that ain't seen none of these miracles that he did. But they're going to believe and they're going to have faith. And this is what he's talking about as we speak today. You see, you got all these Israelites out here trying to teach this word. You see all these Israelites that found out who they are. They trying to keep the commandments to the best of their ability. Yes. He told you he already know these people. They are stiff-necked people. We won't listen. And I can't say that. I just can't say, well, if I was back then, I do. No, you can't say that. We can't say that. Our people just stiff-necked people as of the day. Stiff-necked people. We be out there on that block teaching that word, trying to woe them in. They look at us and keep walking. Folks don't even want to be bothered with us. They think we're a hate group when we trying to teach you the truth. When we trying to teach you the truth of who you are. That's something they took away from you. They took your heritage away from you. They took your name away from you. They took who you are away from you and taught you that you was this. Told you this is you. Yes. It happened. Oh man, what the? I don't know what just happened then. Why is my thing? Oh, okay. I see. I got you. I got it. Verse 15 again from the top. And he said unto him, if thy presence go not with me, carry us not up hence. Verse 16. For wherein shall it be known here that I and thy people have found grace in thy sight? Grace is a time that you get yourself together. You repent from all your sin. You work on you. You overcoming your flesh. That's the whole thing. You got to overcome yourself. It say, grace in thy sight. Is it not in that thou goest with us? So shall we be separated. Read that again. Is it not in that thou goest with us? So shall we be separated. I and thy people from all the people that are upon the face of the earth. You see that? Because they holy anyway. He told them they're going to be separated from all the people upon the face of the earth. So how is the Lord, how is he? I don't get it. I don't get what they're about to read. See, they throw away the Old Testament and go to the New Testament and try to say this is what Jesus came and did. Jesus died for our sins, that Jesus came and died to take away the law. No, Jesus ain't come to do that. Jesus came to fulfill what the prophecy and what the prophecy talked about him. He came to fulfill the prophets and the prophecy and fulfill what the prophecy talked about him. That he was going to be slaughtered. He was going to be led to the slaughterhouse like a lamb, or a lamb without blemish. That's what Jesus came to do. That's all. He did not come to change no law. No law. Verse 16 continued. I and thy people, from all the people that are upon the face of the earth. Verse 17. And the Lord said unto Moses, I will do this thing also that thou hast spoken. For thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by name. He told Moses he'll do this because Moses found grace in his sight. And he know Moses by his name. By name. Verse 18. And he said, I beseech thee, show me thy glory. Verse 19. And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee. He said he's going to let all his goodness pass before Moses. And I will proclaim the name of the Lord before thee. And I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy. So he said, I'll be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and I will show mercy unto whom I show mercy. So you can't get mad because he chose this man to show him mercy, and he ain't showing you no mercy. Because he said he showed mercy to who he showed mercy to. He showed gracious to who he showed gracious to. Remember, God don't need us. And we can't choose God. He chooses you. Even if you are Israelite, you were born in the nation of the Israel, you still have to be chosen. Well, he said, men are called, but few are chosen. He have to choose you. You can be called. I know a lot of people called. Them preachers, them pastors. There's a lot of them be called. But then God chose them. Remember when we read that God chose Bella, and put the spirit of God in him? The wisdom of how to do the same way he chooses you. He gonna put it in you. He did me. When he chose me, he put the spirit of God in me. And the spirit brought me back to the Holy Spirit brought me back to remembrance of who I am. It woke my spirit up And I knew who I was. And that's the same thing it'll do to y'all. Only Israel. Verse 20. And he said, thou canst not see my face, for there shall no man see me and live. So he fitted put all his goodness past Moses, but Moses cannot see his face. Only thing Moses can see is the back. Because he just said, a man cannot see my face and live. So that make you think and make you wonder. When all these people be running around here and pastors, oh, I seen the angel and talked to the angel. All. You ain't gonna be able to look at them. When you read this Bible, especially in the New Testament, and in the Old Testament too, and in the Apocrypha, and when an angel appeared to them, what did they do? Them folk fall face down, on their knees, face down in the face. They ain't do no holding, no shaking and all that, jumping around. Them folk fell down on their knees with their head to the ground. You can't look at no angels, so you ain't seen no angel. No, you haven't. You ain't seen no angel. You wouldn't be able to stand the sight of an angel, cuz. You wouldn't be able to probably stand the voice of the angel when he talk. Y'all got to understand these things, man. He said, for there shall no man see me and live. Verse 21. And the Lord said, behold, there is a place by me, and thou shalt stand upon a rock. Verse 22. And it shall come to pass, while my glory passes by, that I will put thee in a cliff of the rock, and will cover thee with my hand while I pass by. He gonna cover his eyesight up with his hand until he pass by, and he ain't gonna get a chance to see nothing but the back. Verse 23. And I will take away my hand, and thou shalt see my back part, but my face shall not be seen. So he told Moses, you can't see his face. You can't see his face at all. His face shall not be seen. Period. Let's continue. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 34, verse 1. And the Lord said unto Moses, hew thee 2 tables of stone like unto the first. Now, he told me, hew 2 more tables of stone like unto the first 2. And I will write upon these tables the words that were in the first table, which thou breakest. Them 2 he came down, and they made that molten golden calf, that molten calf. And Moses took the tablet and threw them down and broke them. The same thing that he wrote on there, he's finna write on 2 more new tablets. Now, remember, hold on, let's keep going. Verse 2. And be ready in the morning, and come up in the morning unto Mount Sinai, and present thyself there to me in the top of the mount. So he told him, be ready in the morning, because you got to come back up there to the mountain. Remember, Moses went up there, him and Joshua. Joshua ain't went all the way up where Moses went, but he went further north. So Moses just came back down from being up there 40 days and 40 nights. Now he told Moses to come back up there with 2 more new tablets, 2 more tablets. And he finna do it all over again, write the same thing what was on the first tablet. He finna write it on the second tablet. Do it all over again. Verse 3. And no man shall come up with thee. No man, this time he said, no man shall come up with thee. The last time he brought Joshua up with him. Neither let any man be seen throughout all the mount, neither let the flock nor herds feed before that mount. Now, remember he had the folk come up to the closer to the barren, where he barred it off. They came up toward that. This time, no man can come up to the mount. None. Verse 4. And he hewed 2 tables of stone, like unto the first. And Moses rose up early in the morning, and went up unto Mount Sinai, as the Lord had commanded him, and took in his hand the 2 tables of stone. Verse 5. And the Lord descended in the cloud, and stood with him there, and proclaimed the name of the Lord. Verse 6. And the Lord passed by before him, and proclaimed the Lord God, merciful and gracious, long-suffering, and abundant in goodness and truth. Verse 7. Keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty. Visiting the iniquity of the father upon the children, and upon the children's children, unto the 3rd and to the 4th generation. And y'all wonder why we in there. Because he visited the children he visited the iniquity of the father upon the children, and upon the children's children, unto the 3rd and to the 4th generation. So this thing's still going. You are the generation of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel. You are the so-called African American, Native American, and Hispanics. Verse 8. And Moses made haste, meaning move fast, and bowed his head towards the earth and worshiped. Verse 9. And he said, if now I have found grace in thy sight, O Lord, let my Lord, I pray thee, go among us, for it is a stiff-necked people. When he say, for it is a stiff-necked people, meaning stubborn, hard-headed, and pardon our iniquity and our sin, and take us for thy inheritance. He pardons our iniquity. That's what grace for. He giving you a chance to get yourself to pardon your iniquity and your sin, so he can take us for thy inheritance. We got the inheritance of the Father, man. The Israelites. Ain't no other nation got the inheritance. We do. Remember, God created the world for our sake. 2nd Ezra. He created the world for our sake. I think that's 2nd Ezra chapter 6. Everything in this world, he created for Israel's sake. Remember we read that back in Exodus? When he told one of them that he created all this for our sake, for Israel's sake. When he was telling Moses that. Let's keep going. Verse 10. And he said, behold, I make a covenant, a bond, agreement. What else we can use? Let's get the definition of covenant. I just want to see some of these words. A covenant is a formal, solemn, or binding agreement, a promise, or contract between 2 or more parties. So he made a contract. He made a bond. He made an agreement with us. He made a covenant. It say, I make a covenant. And he said, behold, I make a covenant before all thy people, I will do marvelous. Meaning wonderful acts. He will do wonderful things for us, such as have not been done in all the earth. Such has not been done in all the earth. Nor in any nation, not in all the earth, nor in any nation. What he taught. And he said, behold, I make a covenant before all thy people. I will do marvelous, such as have not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation, and all the people among which thou art shall see the work of the Lord. And I told you, our ancestors saw the work of the Lord. We don't see that these days, but we have faith and we believe. For it is a terrible thing that I will do with thee. He said it's a terrible thing that he will do with thee. This is punishment for us sinning. Making a molten calf idol. We going against what Moses is talking about. He gonna pay us for our iniquity. He said, for it is a terrible, meaning a terrible thing that I will do with thee. Verse 11. Observe thou that which I command thee this day. Observe what he command you this day. Behold, I drive out before thee the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites. These the nation he driving out for you. These the nation land that you finna take. These are the ones that land that he giving you. Given to the 12 tribes, the land that promised flowing with milk and honey. These are the people that he driving out to give you their land. He created everything for our sake. Everything is for us. Let's keep going. Verse 12. Take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land whither thou goest, lest it be for a snare in the midst of thee. Now he said, take heed to yourself, because y'all might make a covenant with the people of the land, with the inhabitants of the land whither thou goest. Wherever I send you, wherever I take you, wherever you go, don't make no covenant with these people. Let me see, Jeremiah chapter 10. Do not what the heathen do. Don't follow them. And it say, whether thou goest, lest it be for a snare in the midst of thee. A snare. What is a snare? Let's get the definition of snare. A snare is a device, often a nose, used to trap animal, or metaphorically, a tricky situation that entangles someone. So he telling you it'll be like, at least it'll be for a trick to entangle you. That's what the snare means. In the midst of thee, verse 13. But ye shall destroy their altar, break their image, and cut down their groves. Destroy their altars, because they have their own God. They don't worship our God. So he wants you to destroy their altar, all the image that they made, and cut down their groves. Verse 14. For thou shalt worship no other God No, first two commandments. Thou shalt worship no other God for the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God. Verse 15, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a whoring after their gods. That's why he says, don't do what the heathen do. If you make a covenant with them, you're going to go whoring after their gods. And that's why he tells us not to marry, not to give our daughters to their sons and take their daughters for our son, because they will go whoring after their gods, and do sacrifice unto their God, and one call thee, and thou eat of his sacrifice. Y'all to start making sacrifice to their God. I did it for a long time until he showed me the truth. Verse 16. And thou take of their daughters unto thy son, and thou take of their daughters unto thy son, and their daughters go a whoring after their gods. He said, and thou take of their daughters unto thy son, and their daughters go a whoring after their gods. Meaning they chasing, their daughters are chasing, you taking their daughters to Israel's sons. And their daughters go a whoring after their God. Not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the creator of heaven and earth and you and me. They go a whoring after their God, and make thy son go a whoring after their God. And if they take their daughters and marry, that Israelite son gonna go whoring after their daughter. That's what he's saying. Because they gonna go out whoring after their God. And if you marry to her, you gonna follow right behind. That's the problem Solomon had. That's the problem Solomon had. You'll see. Just remember these things what we reading. Because this the Torah, the 5 books of the Torah, with the law, statutes, commandments, the judgment, what you should do and what we would not don't do, what we supposed to be celebrating, what we ain't supposed to be celebrating. This is what they're telling you in the first 5 books. And you're going to see all these things as we read along when it's getting working, when he put us in our land and start working for real. And you'll see. But don't go marrying their daughter, because you're going to go whoring after their gods. Verse 17. Thou shalt make thee no molten god. And what he did, he took them earrings and milk. That's what they saying to that. That's why he going to visit their iniquity. He said, thou shalt make thee no molten god. And they made a molten calf. Verse 18. The feast of unleavened bread coming up soon, April the 1st. My congregation, COI celebrate May the 1st. I told you, they go off the 13 month. I don't believe in the 13 month because I never read the 13 month in the Bible. But that's what they go off of. We all ain't gonna be on one accord. We ain't gonna get on one accord until the Most High send his son back. That's when we gonna get on one accord. But everybody got their doubt. But I know I don't believe in the 13 month. I don't go out there. So I will celebrate. I'm gonna celebrate April the 1st when it is supposed to be. In the 13th month, it's the May the 1st. I'm gonna celebrate both of them. I'm gonna do April the 1st and I'm gonna do May the 1st. I'll be at the congregation May the 1st with the body. I'll be here watching it on TV with Sons and Thunders and Battle Axe and everybody else holding it here. Prepare my feast and go make my unleavened bread, give me some bitter herbs, and give me some lamb. Throw me some lamb on the grill. And I'm going to sit down, read, watch some lessons, and enjoy the Passover. Because it's the Father Passover. Verse 18 again from the top. The feast of unleavened bread shall thou keep He said, the feast of unleavened bread shall thou keep. That is the unleavened bread the day before, the 14th day before the Passover. The feast of unleavened bread. He said, the feast of unleavened bread shall thou keep. 7 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread as I commanded thee. You shall eat unleavened bread like he commanded thee for 7 days. No leaven need to be in your house. You don't need to be eating no leaven. Drinking that beer, all that yeast. No. We got to be clean, sanctify ourselves for 7 days. He said, as I commanded thee, in the time of the month Abib. The month of Abib is between the end of March and the beginning of April. That's the first month of months. The first month of the year, the first month of the months. To you, Israel. For in the month of Abib thou camest out from Egypt. Passover. Passover. Verse 19. All that opened the matrix is mine, and every firstling among thy cattle, whether ox or sheep, that is male. Remember we talked about this earlier, back then. All the first gonna be here. Sanctify them, because all of them gonna be here. Verse 20. But the firstling of an ass thou shalt redeem with a lamb. And if thou redeem him not, then shalt thou break his neck. All the firstborn of thy son thou shalt redeem, and none shall appear before me empty. Remember he told her that. 3 feasts out of the year, we got to attend, and we can't come to them empty. Verse 21. 6 days thou shalt work, but on the 7th day thou shalt rest. In earing time and in harvest thou shalt rest. Verse 22. And thou shalt observe the feast of weeks. Now the first unleavened bread, Passover, that's one. You got 3 major feasts that all men supposed to show up with and can't show up empty handed. You had that one. Now we did the in the time of harvest. In verse 22, and thou shalt observe the feast of weeks, of the first fruits of wheat harvest, and the feast of ingathering at the year's end. These are the 3 major feasts. The tabernacle, the feast of harvest, and the Passover, the unleavened bread. Verse 23. Here you go. Thrice in the year shall all your men children appear before the Lord God, the God of Israel. These are the major 3 feasts, right here what we just read. Man child shall appear. No excuses, no if and but. That's why I already put my my personal day in to be off April the 1st. I'm celebrating my Passover. I try to hold these high holy days like he told her, these feast days like he told her to do. That's what doing it to the best of your ability. Try. Let them see you try. If you ain't tried, what can you say to this man when you stand in front of him? You can't say, well, Lord, I ain't knew we had to. That's a lie. I ain't knew we had to keep it out through our generation. We read it. How many times we told you this? Verse 24. He say, for I will cast out the nations before thee, and enlarge thy borders. Neither shall any man desire thy land, when thou shalt go up to appear before the Lord thy God thrice in the year. Let me read that again. Verse 24 again from the top. For I will cast out the nations before thee. The Canaanite, Perizzite, Jebusite, Hittite. And enlarge thy border and make your border larger. Expand it. Spread you out. Neither shall any man desire thy land. Not no other nation, no other man from another nation gonna desire your land. How we got out our land? We did this ourselves, cuz. We ain't wanted to hearken to the voice. We ain't wanted to keep his commandment. So he gonna send some people that take us out of our land. He told you that no man will desire thy land. He did that. We put ourselves in this predicament, man. It was not what another nation did. It's what we would obey. Let's continue. Verse 25. Thou shalt not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leaven. Don't offer his blood of his sacrifice. When we had his Passover, when he drank that wine and said, this is my blood, no, you can't have no leaven. It was unleavened bread they eat. All this is sacrificing with what we doing. The Passover of the Lord, the sacrifice. He brought us out of Egypt upon this day. The death angel passed over the houses and killed every firstborn Egyptian, even their animals. That's why he told them to put the blood post on our door and post, so when the angels, when the death angels see it, he gonna pass over. No harm come to us. 25 again from the top. Thou shalt not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leaven, neither shall the sacrifice of the feast of the Passover be left until the morning. You can't leave none of that. If there be anything left over, you're going to have to burn it. You can't eat it or nothing. This is the Lord Passover. Verse 26. The first of the first fruit of thy land thou shalt bring unto the house of the Lord thy God. The first of the first fruit of thy land thou shalt bring unto the house of the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not see it a kid in his mother's milk. See it mean boil. Don't take that lamb and boil it. You got to roast that lamb over fire. So don't take it and boil it. Verse 27. And the Lord said unto Moses, write thou these words, for after the tenor of these words I have made a covenant with thee and with Israel. Did he say he made a covenant with the world? Did he say he made a covenant with Esau and Israel? Did he say he made a covenant with the Hittites in Israel or anybody else? He said with thee and with Israel. He made this covenant with Moses and Israel. These are the same law Yahushua, Jesus, was teaching when he taught. Now imagine, the New Testament was not written when Jesus walked. How could he teach something that ain't happened yet? How? So what was Jesus teaching when he came? He was teaching the laws of Moses. Well, the laws of God, but Moses' laws. That's what he was teaching. He was teaching the Torah. And doing when we finish the Torah, when we start out with Joshua next after Deuteronomy, when we start out that, everything that was talked about him through these prophets, that's what he came to do to fulfill. That's what he did. Verse 28 again. Verse 28. And he was there with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights. He did neither eat bread nor drink water. And he wrote upon the tables the words of the covenant, the 10 commandments. He wrote the words of the covenant, the 10 commandments. Now, Moses did this for the second time. He went up to this mountain and did 40 days and 40 nights 2 times. He did this 80 days. Ain't ate nothing or drank nothing. And what the word tell you, man, you can't go this long without water. You can't go this long without food. But this man that did this 80 days, even Yahweh Shai did it. 40 days and 40 nights. No eating, no drinking. Probably weak, but that spirit gonna be strong. God gonna come visit you. Verse 29. And it came to pass when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tables of testimony in Moses' hand, when he came down from the mount, that Moses wist not that the skin of his face shone while he talked with him. Wist, did not know that the skin of his face shone. Let's see how you pronounce this. Shone is the past tense and past particle of the verb shine. So his face was shining. That's what it means. And he ain't even know. Verse 30. And when Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come nigh him. Why? Because he was shining. He probably looked like white. It shone, it shined. Verse 31. And Moses called unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him. And Moses talked with them. Verse 32. And after all the children of Israel came nigh, and he gave them in commandments all that the Lord had spoken with him in Mount Sinai. So everything the Lord had spoken with him, he told it to the nation of Israel. Verse 33. Until Moses had done speaking with them, he put a veil on his face. So he put a veil on his face. He was shining. Verse 34. But when Moses went in before the Lord to speak with him, he took the veil off until he came out. And he came out and spake unto the children of Israel that which he was commanded. Moses obeyed. Verse 35. And the children of Israel saw the face of Moses, that the skin of Moses' face shone. And Moses put the veil upon his face again until he went in to speak with him. So he went in to speak with the Lord. That was the end of chapter 34. But like I say, y'all can always go back and read these things over, man. That's what I do. Just keep reading until it starts plundering your head. First of all, you need to start out, if you new to this, you need to start out with the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 first. When you understand that, and you see yourself in there, you see that, damn, this up. That's the first step. Deuteronomy chapter 28. That would led me. And when I read it, I'm like, cause ain't this what my people going through, the so-called black people going through, and the so-called Hispanic and Native American going through? The curses only fit us. These curses don't fit. We put ourselves on these curses. God put us in a curse, put a curse upon us in Deuteronomy 28. Yes. So family, man, like I said, you have to be patient, enduring. Wait on the Father. Because what he got in store for you, boy, it'll never fade away. Israel. With that being said, man, we going to close this thing out. Because I want to lay down and take me on a nap before I had to go back to work. I had just got off work. And I got to head into my other job, my second job. But I want to take me on a little nap before I go back to work. So we're going to end this. Everybody open up that with the Lord's Prayer. Everybody open up to Matthew chapter 6, verse 9. And we're going to close this thing on out. The book of Matthew chapter 6, verse 9. After this manner, therefore pray ye, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thy is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. Man, y'all stay prayed up. Endure this to the end. Keep the commandments. Follow the statutes. Accept the judgment. Endure. Fight this thing to the end. Because what he got in store for us, man, it ain't for everybody. And I would like to see the kingdom. I would like to walk around in the kingdom. I would love to get my rest. Because if you don't make it to the kingdom, you're going to the lake of fire, forever torment. You can't get no rest with them. You cannot get not one single rest. You in torment forever. Israel. With that being said, man, boy, we're going to close it on out, and y'all be safe. Stay prayed up. Kwame Yasharala, family. Kwame Yasharala.